559 Delta Whiskey.
559 Delta Whiskey, Miami Center. Here's your loud and clear. How many?
I got a clear emergency. My pilot's unconscious. I need help up here. Miami Center, King Air 559 Delta Whiskey.
559 Delta Whiskey, Miami Center. Here's your loud and clear. How many?
I got a clear emergency. My pilot's unconscious. I need help up here. I need to get this thing on the ground. I'm flying a King Air. My pilot's deceased. I'm a single engine pilot, low time. I need help. I need a King Air pilot to talk to.
All right, all aircraft standby. 559 Delta Whiskey. And are you at the concept now?
I am co-pilot 3. Get him out.
Air 9 Delta Whiskey, understand you are able to fly an aircraft?
Single engine. I need to get off this. I'm going through 11,000. I need to get level.
Air 9 Delta Whiskey, are you able to maintain 1-2000?
Well, do I turn off the altimeter or not? It's steady climbing, and but it looks to me like my altitude of descent is on 10,000. I don't know why I keep going climbing. Figure out how to level off.
You think the autopilot is on?
I know it's on. The altitude set is 10,000, but I'm going through 13 now. I should have leveled off at 10. So how do I stop that is what I want to know. Already busted 10,000. I'm steady climbing. I need to stop the climb. Stay with me, Miami. Let's go.
Delta Whiskey, I'm here. Don't worry. We're trying to find the solution to that. Stand by.
For me on the 50. Okay, number 5, Delta Whiskey. When you look at the center console there, you don't see anything with the you see the autopilot's unable to disengage?
I don't know. I know where the autopilot switch is down there. It's on engage right now. I can engage it if you want to disengage it. That's fine.
5 Delta Whiskey. Disengage the autopilot. We're gonna have you hand fly the plane. Okay, hold the yoke lever, disengage the autopilot.
I disengaged it. I'm flying the airplane by him. You find me the longest, the widest runway you can, ma'am.
5 Delta Whiskey, roger. I'm gonna try to keep you hold the plane level. We're doing pretty good, 17,000. So I'm trying to hold the plane now at 17,000. All right, number 5 Delta Whiskey. We're gonna start a slow, shallow descent. Just easy down on the yoke. A slight descent. We're gonna get you down to 11,000. Pull back slightly on the throttle, and just ease over the yoke gently. Whatever you're comfortable with, we'll just try to make a nice, shallow, 500 feet per minute descent.
I got a 1,000 feet per second.
Number 5 Delta Whiskey, that's fantastic.
9 Delta Whiskey, straight ahead on a heading of, about 35.
36, contact mind approach 133.77.
Hi, y'all good luck.
Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey, you doing all right there descending?
We're having a 9 Delta Whiskey, 16,000, 11,000 foot per minute descent, 9 Delta Whiskey.
Okay, number 9 Delta Whiskey, just so you know what we're doing here, we're going to get you down to 1,000. We're going to make you give you a turn to the west. We're going to hand you off to Fort Myers Approach, and they've got some controllers there that also have pilot experience, and they're going to talk you all the way in down to the landing there. Do you have any experience in a King Air?
Negative.
All right, number 5 Delta Whiskey, you're doing a real good job. Just keep you doing a very good, holding your heading, a real nice descent there. Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey, just a nice, easy turn to the left, whatever you're comfortable, real shallow, real gentle on the controls. You're going to turn left, fly a heading of about a 270 heading, and continue that descent down to 1,000, whatever you're comfortable with. And number 5 Delta Whiskey, just to put your mind at ease, there's good weather at Fort Myers. There's no weather in the way. It's VFR. Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey, just so you know the plan, we're going to bring you around to Fort Myers. They've got the longer runway, and we're going to get you the most available runway for your landing. You're going to do fine. You got any questions about what you're doing right now? You okay?
Yeah, we're great. 9 Delta Whiskey, thank you.
Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey, real nice job in that turn there, and you're going to be talking to Fort Myers Approach here in just a minute. Like I said, they're going to take their time and talk to you and get you down safe. It will be 132.07.
Let's see if I can find it without screwing this up. Can I set this altitude set at 11,000 and turn the autopilot back on?
Number 5 Delta Whiskey, if you would like, if that makes you more comfortable, you can do that.
I can't do it. It messes up my heading.
5 Delta Whiskey, Roger. It's probably, there's a little bug for the heading that you can twist over to get established with the autopilot. But why don't we, you're doing such a good job here, hand flying. We keep you on that heading. You're doing well, and we'll level. It looks like you're just about level at 1,000 now, holding it well. And now, if you can, it's going to be 132.07. So what I'm going to do, number 5 Delta Whiskey, is contact Fort Myers approach 132.07 by pushing 2. If you do not get them, just switch it again, and you'll be talking to me.
Fort Myers Center, King Air 559er Delta Whiskey.
King Air 559er Delta Whiskey, Fort Myers approach. And are you in the descent right now, sir?
I am. What you want me to do is hold it or what?
Actually, if you can, we can just start a descent down to 5,000, and we're getting some help from another pilot that's familiar with the airplane. We'll get you some information. Can you descend the airplane?
I can down to 5,000 on heading 270. This is a King Air 200.
And November 9er Delta Whiskey, are you using the autopilot or are you flying the airplane?
Me and the good Lord's hand flying this 9er Delta Whiskey.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
I need to slow my descent down to 2,500 feet per minute here. I need to get my throttle set for this descent. I don't know where to set it at.
9 Delta Whiskey, the information I have is to pre-select the autopilot to 5,000, but don't turn it on yet. You can go to the center console on the instrument panel and pre-select 5,000 feet. But don't engage it yet. I'll get you information on how to do that.
I got a altitude set at 5,000. I know how to engage it, but I got to get rid of the heading bug that's hooked to this autopilot. I'm 150 knots. I need to keep installing this airplane. I'm just going through a little descent here.
Okay, sir. Just advance the throttles, and your altitude's good. So I guess just pick up the speed with the throttles and try to hold 5,000 feet. And 9 Delta Whiskey, the information I'm getting now is to leave the props and the power where it's at and just fly like you normally would a single engine for now. You got any alarms or warnings going on?
No, just heavy trim.
How many souls on board?
5.
Now they're telling me the trim control is on the yoke, and it's on the left-hand side of the yoke where the thumb would be, on the upper left-hand side of the yoke for trim.
Understand.
And 9 Delta Whiskey, just want to verify you do have the autopilot off.
I got the 2 black buttons on disengaged, which is down on the console.
Okay, sir, thank you. Hold the gear for just a moment.
Oh, I was going to. I'm just telling you, I know where the gear control is. 100 Delta Whiskey.
Okay, that's good. That's good information. Do you know where the flap control handle is?
I do. I don't know what setting to put them on.
Hey, we're getting that information right now. They're listening to you. Yeah, 900 Delta Whiskey, it'll be runway 6. It's a 12,000-foot runway, so you're going to have plenty of runway to work with. And we got equipment standing by, and it's all yours. And if we're looking for 160 knots indicated, you can start the gear down. Right now I'm showing you ground speed right at 160 knots.
I think I see a runway 12 o'clock and about 7-8 miles, 900 Delta Whiskey.
9 Delta Whiskey, that's correct. You're looking at the right runway. That's runway 6 at International. And you're about a 15-mile final now. So have you got the gear going down yet, sir?
Negative. I'm descending. I need to get down to 2,000 and get my speed down. 900 Delta Whiskey.
9 Delta Whiskey, the last instruction I got, when you get to 150 knots, the flap control will say approach flaps on there. Just select that detent when you get to 150 knots.
2,800, 900 Delta Whiskey, 165 indicated.
Sounds good. You're right on the money. You're lined up for the runway. So altitude, your discretion. You can proceed visually. Just let me know when you have the gear and the flaps down.
All right, gear going down. Well, I touch down. If I ever touch down, do I just kill the throttle or what?
That's correct. When you touch down, slowly kill the throttle.
Got that pilot sits thing.
9 Delta Whiskey, you don't have to respond. More information, once you make it onto the ground, just center line with the rudder pedals. You kill the throttle and maximum braking.
I keep this pilot off the control.
You have plenty of runway, sir, so if you got to add a lot of power to make the threshold, that's fine. You got 12,000 feet of runway. It looks good from here. Good job.
Yeah, you know, where tilt's over, friend.
9 Delta Whiskey, the runway's all yours. You can turn left or right, whatever's easier for you. Power all the way back, and they're telling me max braking.
For now, buddy. Thank you.
that fast in his life. And then she would signal him with a hand or something, say, I've got to work this guy. So he would hand the mic to her, and that's the way they did it. And the whole time in the background, Jessica's reaching and shucking and jiving and getting people out of the way. So then the whole time they're doing this, Lisa finally convinces me that I've got to disconnect that autopilot. I don't want to disconnect that autopilot. That autopilot's doing a perfectly fine job of flying. It's just going the wrong way. So she tells me and convinces me that's what I've got to do, how to do it, when to do it, and what to do after I do it. So at a little bit below 18,000, we started hand flying to King Air. And then later she convinces me that I've got to contact Fort Myers Approach. I called them Fort Myers Center, but it got the job done. And I'm in the right seat, so I'm doing everything offhanded. It's weak-handed, it's my left hand. I can't do that. I can't dial the, it's all different from over there. If you listen to the whole tape, there's a guy named Airboy. He's a pilot, but that's his screen name. But he put the whole thing on YouTube. But if you'll hear it, I asked her 3 or 4 times what that frequency is. And I now know that frequency for Fort Myers in that sector is 132.07. So she convinces me and figures out and shows me how to put it in there. I don't want to go to Fort Myers Center. I'm talking to Lisa. Why do I want to talk to anybody else? A bird in the hand's worth 2 in the bush, because if I lose her, I'm a duster. Because if I lose her, it's real quiet up there. So finally she shows me what button to push on that radio, and I get to Fort Myers. So Brian's waiting on me. Brian's literally going out the door to go home. He shifts over, and somebody grabs him, brings him back in, and sits him down in front of the radar screen. So Brian got him a lot of OT on Easter. And he's got a co-worker there that hears what's going on, my little buddy Dan Favio up here, and Dan says, oh, King Air's in trouble. I got a buddy in Danbury, Connecticut that's got a lot of King Air time. I'll get my cell phone and call him. And he does. And the guy answers. So the rest of the time I've got Brian Norton giving me headings and speeds and altitudes. And Dan's buddy in Connecticut is telling him in the phone, tell him that the flap control was by his left leg. And he would tell him, and Dan would tell Brian, and Brian would tell me. And I'd say, got it. He'd say, it's only got 2 notches. Lower the first one at this airspeed, lower the second with this airspeed. I'd have a question, I'd ask Brian. Brian would ask Dan. Dan would get on his cell phone and ask his buddy, and that's the way we went for 20 or 25 minutes. And I said all that to say this. These folks had a problem that they faced on that day, and they didn't form a committee to figure out what to do. They just got it done. They didn't pass a resolution. Because that's the way they are. And that's the way you are. You can't train for this, people. I guarantee you in your ops manual, that sounds fancy. I assume you've got something like an ops manual. It doesn't say when King Air pilot dies. Go down to another sector, get a woman who has some piloting experience, bring her up here, sit her down beside you, work out a set of hand signals, and while you're working all these airliners full of hundreds of people, when she gets enough, make a signal and let her work him. And convince him to take the autopilot off. If that doesn't work, go to subsection B. Get on a cell phone and call a buddy that lives 1,000 miles from here that has King Air experience and talk to him on the cell phone. That is not there. It's individual initiative that gets it done. Coincidentally, as soon as this save, as you call it, was over, the very minute it was over, Dan tried to call a buddy or somebody right after that on his cell phone, and his cell phone went dead. I don't mean the battery died. I mean he had to buy a new cell phone. And he didn't know his buddy's phone number. And Brian Norton sitting beside him didn't even know his buddy's name. Those are some of the divine things that fell in place. And we're at the beach in Florida, in Fort Myers, in the middle of the afternoon, and there's no wind. No wind. When does that ever happen? But I've danced around this buddy of Dan Fabio's all night, or for the last 10 minutes. I'm not going to dance anymore. His name is Kerry with a K, Kerry Sorensen. He's from Danbury, Connecticut. He came all the way down here at his own expense, I might add, to see his buddy win this award and share this night with him. And I got something for you too, Kerry. Come here. You got to do this too. Come on. Kerry Sorensen. What I made here, I made a plaque for each one of these people, and it says the exact same thing on each one of them, but it's individually addressed. Kerry's is a little different because he wasn't a controller. Kerry's not a member of NATCA, but Kerry is a member of a greater fraternity that we're all members of, which is the aviation fraternity. Kerry's just as big a part of this save as anybody. But I can't get through this to read this, so I'm just going to tell you, there's two pictures on here. The one on the left is the pilot that died. He was an Air Force Academy graduate. He's a lifer, retired military pilot named Lieutenant Colonel Joe K. Buck, C-A-B-U-K. Y'all were talking about Grand Masters. I'm not sure what that is, but he was a Grand Master of the Masons of the state of Louisiana. FYI. And the other picture is me and the girls in front of the King Air. I'm going to have Lisa Grimm. She's so chatty. To come over here and read this, and I want you to know it's to them, but it's also to each and every one of you, because that's how I feel about you. Every one of you. There you go, Lisa. Tell them what's
It says, your job at this time is an air traffic controller, and I know these are most days when you consider it just a job. I hope that's how I was supposed to say that. A means to make a living. You say, I've got to go to work. My job is just an air traffic controller. Right now I'm an air traffic controller, but I'm looking for something else, etc., etc. There are many days when you are sitting around the break room with your fellow controllers and you are vocalizing the usual complaints of management doesn't do this or that, the pay scales are not fair and equal, FAA treats us like dirt. I better not get in trouble, I'm just reading. And doesn't appreciate us. Why do I put up with this? Yes, thank you very much. Etc., etc. I understand that. But believe me, I do also understand what most of your friends and many of your spouses and significant others, italicized and underlined, do not understand. And that is what it is exactly that you do for a living every day and what you go through to do it. On Easter Sunday, April 12, 2009, God Almighty used the talents that He gave each and every one of you to save my family, excuse me, and me from a certain fiery death. He used your skills, ingenuity, teamwork, coolness under fire, and professionalism to bring this incident to the best conclusion possible. This was something that neither controller nor passenger could ever train for. I hope that you and your union have prepared a copy of this audio because as of the date on this plaque fades away and the years pass on from this moment, I want you to replay this tape from time to time, and especially at each and every one of your retirement parties, whether it be 10, 20, or 30 years from now. Because I want you to always know that, to me, you are as much a professional as the most expensive suit on Wall Street, or any doctor, lawyer, or president in the world. You are important, you make a difference, you are appreciated, and you are an air traffic controller. Be proud. There's a little more, just a little. And you say I'm chatty? Thanks, appreciation, love, and respect from the bottom of my heart. And congratulations on winning a once-in-a-lifetime Archie Award. You deserve it. Doug White, Archibald, Louisiana. King Air 559er Delta Whiskey. God bless, and contact Ground Point Niner.
I have no idea what we could do to top this next year. Just an amazing group. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for staying 2 + 25 on position. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
The insanely popular King Air 559er Delta Whiskey True Story, originally published on the FS Mania channel in 2015. Currently, at nearly 2 million views with thousands of encouraging comments, the King Air Niner Delta Whiskey story has proven to be one of the most unique and inspiring stories of survival in aviation history.